I have a picture here, and you're gonna tell me what is your idea about this picture. Here it is. This picture shows different type of water pollution. As you can see, water pollution. Did you know that these days water pollution is very rampant, which also resort to climate change. Water pollution is very dangerous, and it has a negative effect towards us human and also animals, which is water is very important, and if our water is polluted, we can get water, or we can get the food resources in that area because it's polluted. We have nothing to eat. So water pollution, it is the process of where toxins and waste are being put in the water that has resulted to the disruption of the physical appearance of the ecosystem, as well as the living organism living in that area, whether it is they may die, sick, or just destroy. So now let's proceed to our discussion, but let's read the objective first. So our objective is, at the end of this lesson, students are expected to understand biomagnification, result, oxygen content, biochemical oxygen demand, and chemical oxygen demand. Next is explains the effects of water pollution on aquatic life and ecosystem. Recognize the importance of maintaining water quality for the health of ecosystem and human well-being. Overall, our objectives are all related to maintaining a healthy aquatic ecosystem. Now let's proceed to our discussion. So our discussion for today, our title for our topic is Water Pollution Disrupts Aquatic Ecosystem. This tells about the reasons or factors that destroys our aquatic ecosystem. So are you all ready to take, or are all you ready to learn what are those factors that disrupt our water ecosystem? Okay, very good. So let's proceed. Water pollution and biomagnification. So small amount of metals in water supplies can appear harmless. These toxins get concentrated and biomagnified up to the food chains when consumed by animals. Biomagnification means the negative effects of toxins are magnified in organisms at the top of the food chain. Basically, the topic tells about the overall the biomagnification. First of all, let's explain what is biomagnification. So biomagnification, it is the process where chemical, toxins, substance from the farms, towns, and factories that is toxin or has negative effect to the aquatic ecosystem as well as the living organism has been put into the has in contact with the body of water that has been put to food resources such as fish, and then also that will result to human ecosystem. So basically, so for example, let's say farmers. So farmers will have its inorganic fertilizer in order to have larger yield of their crops. So But those fertilizer, it is inorganic, meaning it has negative toxins or chemical are put in there. And if we say chemical toxin, it has literally negative effect to our body as well as the animals. And if put contact to the animals, if eaten, this surely is a negative. So those fertilizer will through a process. For example, the pond is near to a farm, so the fertilizer will spread across the pond, sa van, or in the air, so that will those tiny chemical toxins will be eaten by small living organism that will also be eaten by large organism, and then large living organism, and then large living organism, and also will be eaten to fish. Then the fish will be eaten to humans. That's why that those toxin will be eaten to up to the food chain. So I have a picture here shows how the toxins or biomagnification process. So here, let's say this water has a toxin from the farm, such as inorganic fertilizer or factories or town waste. So this water will go into the water plants, and the chemicals will also transfer to the plants. Next, the plants will be eaten by a worm. Then the worm will has a contact to what? Toxin. Then next will be eaten to another insect. Then it will be eaten to fish. Then another fish. Then the toxins will be spread across then up to the human. So this tells that the most infected, or meaning has more eaten toxin, will be the humans, since we are eating many fish. So if we catch fish for those polluted areas, the probable effect we have eaten the toxin. So did you eat healthy foods? Healthy food, is that healthy foods not biomagnified? Okay, so we should not prioritize chemical or inorganic also toxins in our food because it's unhealthy. Though it may lead, but it is also crucial to understand its negative effects. So now let's proceed to disrupting ecosystem. Water pollution damages ecosystem in ways beyond direct toxicity. Through impacts creation of dead zones and nutrients pollution. So water pollution, it damages the ecosystem. It damages the physical appearance and also the living organism there that lives those living organisms maintain the balance. If those balance are imbalance, it will surely disrupt the ecosystem. Then it will result to trophy impacts, dead zones, and nutrient pollution. So later on, we'll discuss this nutrient. Let's talk about this dead zone is an area where the body of water is dead. No living organisms are alive due to pollution. In this image, as you can see, there are many pollution waste and pollution such as trash and anything. Probably this is called dead zone because no living things can live. So that is an example of dead zone where nutrient pollution, it is the process where, for example, let's say a farmer. So a farmer might have fertilizers about phosphorus and phosphorus and nitrogen, and those phosphorus will spread to the body of water. Though it is an fertilizer, but it is inorganic, so there are chemicals included. That's why it will resort to nutrient pollution, because because nitrogen and phosphate are pollution, but it has chemicals, so that's why it's called nutrient pollution. So let's proceed to another topic. Now let's proceed to measuring dissolved oxygen. Dissolved oxygen contained is the amount of oxygen dissolved in water measured by scientists to understand changes in aquatic ecosystem due to pollution. Scientists measure dissolved oxygen to determine if ecosystem is being disrupted by pollution. So, dissolved oxygen content is the oxygen that is in the body of water that serve as an oxygen to the living organism that live in aquatic. So, scientists measure this dissolved oxygen content to measure if the aquatic is polluted or not polluted, because dissolved oxygen content will be affected if the pollution or it is polluted, because if the water is polluted, the dissolved oxygen content will get lower. Next is DOC helps determine the type of organism up though a particular ecosystem can support. Though dissolved oxygen limits the type of number of organism. So dissolved oxygen content supports the quantity or the living of the organism in the material. If we say dissolved oxygen content is higher, meaning it's living, it can support to different living organism also. And if it is low, it can support low animals. So dissolved oxygen is measured in parts per million. So dissolved oxygen content is measured by scientists in parts per million. And water can hold about 12 ppm of dissolved oxygen. Most fish need at least 5 ppm of oxygen need to survive. Less than 2 ppm can only support certain bacteria and decomposers. So basically, water can hold up to 12 ppm dissolved oxygen content, and most fish need 5. So, and if to those bacteria and decomposer, they only need 2 ppm. So if higher the level of dissolved oxygen content, means that it can support to different type of ecosystem can support, and if it's low, it can support low as well. So next, let's proceed. This is another concept, though it might relate it to dissolved oxygen content, but this is another topic related. So let's proceed with oxygen demand. Biochemical oxygen demand measures the amount of oxygen consumed by bacteria to decompose organic matter. So biochemical oxygen demand, it is the need of bacteria or decompose in order to dissolve an organic matter in the ecosystem. So a decomposer need biochemical oxygen in order to dissolve organic matter. Next is chemical oxygen demand. So measures how much oxygen is needed to oxidize organic matter. So meaning this chemical oxygen demand, it is the overall. So if the amount of organic and organic matter is larger, meaning the bacteria or decomposer, it needs a larger amount of oxygen. The chemical oxygen demand. Is that clear? Any question? Okay, let's proceed to another. topic, we're gonna talk about the creating zones in aquatic ecosystem. So this is the negative effect of creating zones in aquatic ecosystem. So when we say when a pollution entered into a body of water, it results to different zones such as water polluted, something like that. So now we're gonna take what are those zones that has been result to the disruption of aquatic ecosystem or pollution. Environmental scientists have observed that pollutants such as sewage entering a flowing body of water cause a sequence of changes in the aquatic ecosystem downstream. So environmental scientists they observe that toxins that enter the body of water such as sewage will result to a different sequence of negative effect towards our body of water. So they become polluted and they become unbreathable. So this changes occur a series of zones of areas with different water chemistry and ecosystem. So those changes will create different zones that has different chemistry and different ecosystem health. So probably its ecosystem health is it cannot support life, and also it disrupts the balance of the aquatic ecosystem as well. So these are the zones. Clean zone, water before pollution is added. Polluted zones, areas after the pollution where the water is changed. Clean zone, it is before the area it is being polluted, and polluted zone, it is the after, meaning it is being polluted already. So overall, it is important to keep our aquatic ecosystem healthy because most of our foods are being extracted or get in the body of water, such as we eat fish, and also we need water in order to water our plants, which are we intake food, and also we drink water from different body of water, and if those body of water has been polluted, we are also impacted. We can't eat the food, or the food is also dangerous to eat. They become unhealthy. Our foods are healthy, meaning we are all impacted if our aquatic ecosystem is polluted. Not just we humans, but also the other living organisms who are also using this body of water for their survival, such as animals, fish. Those are it is important. Though farming of inorganic matter, it is important. We must also prioritize or know the negative effect towards the inorganic matter, and also to the factory. They must also be responsible for their waste, where they put and where they throw it away. Is there any question, clarification, or ideas wanted to share? None? Okay. So since we're done discussing, let's talk about let's have an activity. So our activity for today is called water pollution story. So you're gonna make a story. So you will choose a place, then you will add a pollution, then next you will tell the impact, then next you will have a conclusion, like you say why it is important to keep ecosystem clean. So for example, you have chosen a lake, then the pollution you choose is like agricultural farm. So such as agricultural farm, they will have the inorganic fertilizer that will spread to the pond, that will be eaten by small microorganism that will go up to the food chain. So that is, or you can choose factories or anything that is pollution. Next, you will tell the impact. You will tell about the impact of the living organisms, impact to the plants and animals, impact to the water, and how it affect to humans. Next, you will tell about the how it is important to keep our aquatic ecosystem healthy. So, you have 10 minutes, that's so early, 8 minutes to finish this activity. Since you're done in the activity, let's proceed to the generalization. So why it is important to keep our ecosystem healthy? Why? Is anyone wants to answer? Okay? Okay, it is important to keep our aquatic ecosystem healthy because most of our food are get by body of water, such as the water we drink, the fish we eat. There are different food we can get from the sea. It is abundance of food resources, and also to water our plants, to wash our car, to wash our clothes, to wash our body, are get to body of water. And if those body of water are polluted, it is not suitable. Also, animals will also die that supports that live in that area. So it is crucial to keep our ecosystem healthy. So as a student, what are your role in keeping our ecosystem healthy? Okay, advocacy. Yes, that is one of example. Another. Okay, going with a cleaning. So it is also important to join cleaning activities in the water. That is a very great. It also lessen the impact of climate change, and also you are maintaining the cleanliness of our aquatic ecosystem. Now, what is the negative effect if we all use and we all use about the inorganic fertilizer as also and also town and waste and factories will go to the body of water? What is the long-term effect? Yes, the water resources will die. It will disrupt. The fish that living in that area will die, and also the water will also be not healthy, and also the plants will die and will ultimately enhances the impact, increases the impact of climate change. So it is really important to keep our ecosystem healthy as a responsible human living in this earth. So now, to end this our discussion, who can give me a summarization of what have we discussed? Which we discussed about biomagnification, dissolved oxygen content, which is the oxygen that in the body of water that supports life. Next is the what? Biochemical oxygen demand, which is the need for decomposer or bacteria to dissolve an inorganic matter. And chemical oxygen demand, it is the overall need for organic to be decomposed. So thank you.